Hi guys, this is Lane. Today I'm going to do a greenhouse tour and show you what all we've got started for our garden for this year. Maybe a little windy in here today because the wind's blowing and the plastic on the greenhouse is shaking, but we'll start over here. We've got our blue lake bush beans. Some of them are starting to pop up through the ground. We've got some royal burgundy. We have some dragon tongue beans, Mayflower. My sunflowers are doing amazing, and back here I have chamomile. We've got watermelons that I just planted, so none of them are popping up yet, but I've got rainbow colored broccoli. I've got some tiger melons, honeydew melon, tender sweet orange watermelons, 8-ball zucchini, banana melons, some Prescott melons, purple and orange eggplants in this one. And then now we'll go on to the squash. They are going crazy. We've got table queen, acorn squash, cushaw, butternut. We've got yard long beans. We've got some green, white, and yellow patty pans. We have a new one to us this year. It's called the Cozella squash. And then we've got our cucumbers, which this year we've done a little bit of a different, rather than just a regular pickling cucumber, we've tried a different varieties. We've got a white wonder. We also have a little potato cucumber, as well as our national pickling cucumbers or homemade pickles. But up here we've got all of my herbs, which are going crazy. We've got a whole tray of just peppers. And then 2 trays of just tomatoes. Today, while I'm out in the greenhouse, I'm planting flowers. I've planted some zinnias, some marigolds, but I've also potted up some more watermelons to sell and some Kajari melons. And I have a dwarf thumb pea, which is basically just a bush variety. So we're going to try that this year. I've got lots of more green beans and our dry beans that are planted over there. And then my husband's got some asparagus coming up, a few tobacco seeds, a few hot peppers, and then I'll show you one more thing. This zucchini came from dirt that we had in a pot. He just threw it out over the winter and it came up as a volunteer, but it's doing amazing. So within the next few weeks, once we get past our first frost date, we'll be putting this guy out in the garden. In an effort to grow more of our own food, we've decided to build our own greenhouse this year. We already had the seed and all we needed was a place to start everything. It's easier for us to just have it all ready to go to put in the ground than it is to go to nursery to find seedlings. And we've got a lot of new varieties this year that couldn't find anywhere. Like, they're new to us, they're new to our area, but that's something we're excited about, to get more of a diverse variety in our garden. But this greenhouse is something that we threw together. The main tarp on both ends was from a greenhouse that I had that the wind destroyed, and we repurposed it. And all we did for the top was get 6mm plastic from Lowe's. It was pretty cheap, and as you can see, it's doing amazing. It didn't cost us very much, and it gives us more freedom here on our farm to provide for ourselves, because we don't have to run out and get plants. We don't have to depend on the nurseries. We don't have to try to find something and they not have it, because we've took the time to get the seed and grow it ourselves. And in a time right now where more people are thinking about gardening and stuff like that, it may be a little harder to get plants and seeds this year, because in our area I've seen more gardens being plowed this year than I have in the last 10. But soon all of this is going to be filled up and green and lush and full of cattle panel and flowers and food. Right here we have some strawberries that we found in our patch We had dug a few back in this early spring to transplant them into our main garden, but we missed a few. So we now have 18 more strawberry plants to add to our garden. I hope you guys can hear me over the wind. It's kind of crazy today, but this is kind of our lazy way of gardening. A lot of people, you know, when you ask them about their plans for gardening, they say, I don't have the time, or we don't have the space. But this is one of our ways to combat it, because we have a full-time job. We have a construction company that we're gone most of the time. But I mow our yard, and our push mower has a bagger on it. So I take all of the grass clippings and I put on top of our rows to add in mulch. This works in like a fourfold system for us. For one, it cuts down on our weeds. Two, it helps hold moisture in the soil, especially when it gets really dry in the summer. Three, it's something that I already have for free in my yard. I mow, so all I have to do is dump it. And four, this is adding organic matter into our garden. Most of this grass and even the weeds that we pull from the garden, we put back into it. All of those nutrients and vitamins that they've pulled from the ground, we're putting right back into it. My poor little kales had it rough. I didn't know what it was going to do. I found an old seed packet in our kit, so I just threw them all down in a little spot in our garden several months ago just to see what it would do. And of course, it all came up. So I had this giant mass of kale seedlings that I needed to do something with. So I dug them up and I transplanted it. And when I did, it was raining for days, it was windy, it completely flattened them all to the ground, and they were struggling for a little bit. They were yellow, they were weak, and I wasn't sure that they were going to make it. So I took some compost from our goat barn, which is just their bedding that's been in there for a little bit, and it was mostly hay. So I put that in between our rows, even though it had a little bit of poop in it. And then I took Epsom salt and sprinkled it around the bases of them, and then watered that in good. And within a few days, they perked up. I picked up all the leaves that had wilted and died, and now they're coming back bigger, badder, and with a vengeance. But on a side note, we're gonna have kale for days. Good. You did, Peter. I knew this.